in Italy right now.
Exactly. You know that something has shifted in the atmosphere this weekend? The Milano Cortina Winter Olympics have officially kicked off.
And the energy is just electric.
It really is.
We've been waiting 4 years for this. I mean, some of the athletes we're going to talk about today have been waiting even longer. We are finally right in the thick of it.
Yeah, the opening ceremonies are done, the flame is lit.
The cowbells are ringing.
And while there is, chaos happening on the ski slopes and people hurling themselves down ice tracks, today we are focusing our laser beams on one specific venue, the Milano Ice Skating Arena.
We are doing a deep dive into the figure skating team event.
Which is, arguably the most stressful way to start an Olympic Games.
Oh, absolutely. You've got national pride on the line before anyone's even had a chance to settle in.
Or win an individual medal, yeah.
Today's a pressure cooker.
Exactly. And just to orient everyone, we are pulling from a massive stack of sources today. We've got reports from Reuters, the AP, detailed scoring from NBC.
And some on-the-ground reporting from Milan over the last, 48 hours?
Because if you just glanced at the headlines this morning, you might see Team USA leads and think, okay, business as usual.
But the story behind that headline is, it's so much more complex.
Yeah.
As of right now, Sunday morning, heading into the final day, Team USA is sitting in first place with 44 points. They are in the driver's seat.
Okay, 44 points. That sounds like a lot, but in the weird world of figure skating math,
It can evaporate pretty quickly.
So our mission today is to unpack exactly how they got to that number. We're going to talk about a redemption arc that feels like a movie script.
A quad god who actually decided to play it safe.
And the strategic defensive driving that kept the U.S. just ahead of Japan.
And we have to talk about the competition, too. I mean, Japan is fierce.
And Italy, the host nation, they're feeding off that home crowd energy.
They are. But before we get to all that drama, we should probably explain how this event actually works.
Yeah, let's do that. Because it trips people up every 4 years. This isn't the individual event.
Yeah.
This is the team event. So how does the scoring work? Why is 44 a good number?
Okay, so think of the team event less like a standard skating competition and more like a track meet.
Like a relay race.
Exactly. You have 4 disciplines: men, women, pairs, and ice dance. In each segment, say the men's short program, skaters aren't just trying to get a high score.
So not like a 90 or 100.
Right. They are trying to rank.
Okay, so it's all about placement.
Precisely.
Yeah.
First place gets 10 points for their country, second place gets 9 points, third gets 8, and so on.
So the actual technical score matters less than where you land relative to the other countries.
Yes. You could skate the performance of your life, but if someone else skates just a tiny bit better, you lose that crucial point differential for the whole team.
So it's a game of accumulation.
Exactly. You just want to rack up as many of those ranking points as you can. And right now, the U.S. has accumulated 44 of them.
Which is a massive buffer.
It's a huge buffer.
And the architects of that buffer, the ones who really built the foundation for this lead, we have to start with the team captains.
You have to. Madison, Chock, and Evan Bates.
The veterans.
They are the veterans of this squad. This is their 4th Olympics together.
I saw some reports call them the mom and dad of the team.
Which I'm sure they love.
But it kind of fits, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're the steady hands.
They are. And they set the tone right from the jump. It started with the rhythm dance on Friday.
Okay.
Now, traditionally, the rhythm dance it can be a little stiff, a little formal.
Right, the compulsory part.
But Chock and Bates came out to a medley of Lenny Kravitz songs.
Lenny Kravitz. I love that. The reports called it a rocking, high-energy routine. Do you think that was a strategic choice?
Oh, absolutely. You're the first ones out for Team USA. You want to make a statement. You want to wake up the judges.
And the arena.
And the arena. And they didn't just bring the vibe. They brought the technical goods.
Yeah.
They scored 91.06 points.
Okay, so help us contextualize that number. Is 91.06 just good? Or is it, Olympic gold good?
That is world leading.
Wow.
That's the highest score recorded in the world for this entire season. So on day 1 of the Olympics, under maximum pressure, they put up a number better than anyone has seen all year.
That's incredible. I was reading the technical breakdown, and they got top marks for something called a pattern dance type step sequence. What is that?
So unlike the other disciplines, ice dance doesn't have jumps.
Right.
They can't just spin 4 times in the air to rack up points. It's entirely about edge quality, knee bend, unison. That step sequence is a very complex prescribed pattern.
Then they have to be perfectly in sync.
We are talking millimeters, deep edges, high speed, bodies incredibly close. If one person is slightly off, the score just plummets.
But they were flawless.
Flawless.
Oh.
They earned 52.77 points just on their technical elements.
And they needed every single one of those points, didn't they? Because the French team was lurking.
Yes, and this is important. The French team, Fournier Baudra and Guillaume Cizeron, they scored an 89.98.
And Cizeron is a returning Olympic champion.
He is. He knows how to win. So for Chock and Bates to come out and beat a skater of that pedigree right out of the gate?
It sends a message.
Massive psychological message. It says, we're here to win.
Okay, so that was Friday. Fast forward to Saturday. They had to come back and do the free dance.
And talk about a mood shift. They went from that Lenny Kravitz rock concert to an orchestral rendition of Paint It Black.
The Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
A classic.
Mm.
But the reports made it sound so intense.
It was a complete 180 in tone, which just shows their versatility. But again, the music is just background noise unless you execute the elements.
And there was one element they did that everyone was talking about.
The curve combination lift?
Yes, I saw this. That single lift tallied 14.74 points. That sounds astronomical for one move.
It's huge. To put that in perspective, that was the single highest scoring element of the entire competition so far.
Higher than the men's quad?
Higher than the men's quads, higher than the pairs throws, everything.
So why? What makes that lift worth almost 15 points?
It's the difficulty. It's a combination, so they're hitting multiple difficult positions without Evan ever stopping.
Yeah.
It takes immense core strength from him and incredible flexibility from Madison.
And they got level 4s, the max difficulty, on a bunch of elements.
A masterclass. They posted a season-high 133.23.
Securing another first place and another 10 points for the team.
They did their job perfectly.
And the atmosphere in the arena sounded pretty intense. I read that Vice President J.D. Vance was there, Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
Yeah, the U.S. delegation was out in force.
Does that help or hurt? I feel like having the Vice President staring at you would be terrifying.
It definitely turns the heat up. But they didn't flinch, and I think that speaks to their experience. But there's something else fueling them, too.
Right. There's a why behind all this, isn't there?
There is.
This isn't just another competition for them. There's some serious history here from the last Olympics in Beijing.
This is the emotional core of the deep dive. If you rewind to Beijing 2022, Chock and Bates were on the U.S. team that won gold. But they didn't get their medals.
I remember this, the Russian doping scandal.
Exactly. Because of the investigation into Kamila Valieva, the IOC just canceled the medal ceremony.
So they knew they won, but they didn't get the moment. No podium, no flags.
Nothing. And they had to wait a long time to get those medals.
How long was it?
2 full years. They didn't receive them until a special ceremony at the Paris 2024 Summer Games.
Can you imagine? Reaching the absolute pinnacle of your sport and having the celebration put on hold for 2 years.
It's agonizing. And it changes your mindset. Evan Beats was quoted saying there's added motivation to win a second title properly.
They want the moment they were denied.
They want to stand on the ice, sweat still on their brows, and hear the anthem play now.
That gave me chills. It's about closure.
It really is. Danny O'Shea, one of the Paris skaters, he called this group the best generation of figure skaters within the U.S. right now. And I think that shared history has bonded them.
They're veterans of a very weird shared trauma.
Exactly.
So Chock and Bates are the anchors. They delivered the maximum 20 points. But a team event isn't won by just 2 people.
Not at all. You need a whole squad.
Let's talk about that supporting cast and the strategy involved there.
Right. So while the ice dancers were dominating, the rest of the team had to play a very strategic points game. This is where we look at the women's and pairs events from Friday.
Let's start with the women. Team USA sent out Alysa.
A fan favorite, but she's had, a bit of an up and down journey. She actually retired for a bit and then came back.
But the reports described her skating on Friday as fearless and freewheeling.
She went out there and she just executed. Scored a 74.90.
Which put her in second place. Now, in an individual event, second place means you lost. Yeah. But here,
second place is gold dust if it prevents a disaster. She finished behind Japan's Kaori Sakamoto. And let's be real, Sakamoto is a beast.
Dominant force in women's skating.
So Team USA probably didn't expect to beat her.
So the strategy wasn't beat Sakamoto,
It was don't let anyone else beat you.
It's defensive driving on ice.
Exactly. By taking second, Alysa Liu secured 9 points. If she had faltered, if she fell on a jump and dropped to third or fourth.
That lead they have today would be much, much smaller.
Much smaller. She minimized the point loss to Japan. She held the line.
And that was crucial because of what happened in the pairs short program,
Right. Ellie Calm and Danny O'Shea, they finished fifth.
which the AP called middle of the pack. A bit harsh.
It's accurate, though. They got 6 points for the team.
Was that a worry? Fifth place sounds like the danger zone.
It's the danger zone. This is where Japan started to make their move. Their pair, Miura and Kihara, they're world champions. They won that segment.
So Japan gets 10 points, the U.S. gets 6.
That's a 4-point swing right there in Japan's favor.
I see. So even though Chock debates were winning, the pairs result allowed Japan to close that gap.
Significantly. At the end of day one on Friday, the standings were razor thin. USA had 25 points, Japan had 23, Italy had 22.
A 2-point lead is nothing. That's one stumble.
One stumble and it's gone. Which brings us to yesterday, Saturday, the men's short program.
And the moment everyone was waiting for.
The Olympic debut of the man they call the quad god.
Ilia Malinin. Even people who don't watch figure skating have heard this name. He's 21, and the hype train has been just off the rails.
He's a phenomenon. He does jumps that physics suggests shouldn't be possible. He's the only person to land a quad axel that's 4.5 rotations in competition.
And this is where the plot thickens. He didn't win the short program.
He did not. He finished second behind Japan's Yuma Kageyama.
Okay, hold on. You have the quad god, the most explosive jumper in the world, and he gets second. What happened?
Well, the reports all said he opted for a more conservative layout.
That's the key phrase, isn't it? Conservative layout.
It is.
Does conservative for the quad god still mean doing quads?
Oh, absolutely. He's still doing jumps other people dream